This is chapter 2, question 48. The problem is a fish can hop up from a waterfall at 8 meters per second. First part of the question is, how high does it go? So for this equation, we know a few things. For example, we know that its final velocity is 8 meters per second. We know that since it obviously has to, obviously goes up to, it doesn't start in the end, so we know its initial velocity is 0 meters per second. We know the acceleration of gravity is negative 9.8 meters per second. And we know that it starts off from a zero on the y-axis. It starts off from 0. So we know a lot of things. And this equation here, we can just plug in just about everything and just solve for h. In that case, it gives us 3.3. The next part of the question is, it then falls down to about 1.8 meters. Yeah, it falls down to the waterfall or whatever at 1.8 meters above the y-axis. The question is, how long has it been since it first jumped to now where it lands? Now then, for this question, all we have to do is plug in a different equation. So final y equals initial y plus velocity of y, I change in time minus 1/2 g times times change in time squared. It's a long equation. That being said, since we know its initial velocity is 0 meters per second, cut off this good portion right here and just have it be, final y equals initial y minus 1/2 g change in t squared. Now then, after that, since we are looking for the time, the change in time in particular, all we need to do is just solve for that. That eventually gives us the equation square root ty times I final y minus initial y over g. And then all we have to do is just start plugging in our numbers. So for this first one here, we can just plug in 3.3. And as the text mentioned, it falls down to 1.8 meters. So 3.3 minus 1.8, that's 1.5 meters it's been in the air, so that's also included. So we first figure out what this equation is, and we add that by that next equation, and that gives us 0.39 seconds.